Howdy, Immortallium here, and recently I've been kind of getting into Gamedle, kind of doing it very quickly in the morning before I start my work and everything. And I thought, you know what, let's try recording it and see, I'll stick it up on the Immortallium gaming channel and see, if people like the content and stuff. So I thought it might be fun for the next while to do some videos with regards to the daily modes and just see, do people like the content. So without further ado, let's take a look. So first up, we have our classic version, that being the kind of the game cover. And let's see. Oh, okay, I know this one actually. This one is Thimbleweed Park, which I have yet to play. I would like to play that at some point. From the same guy who did Monkey Island. Okay, so that was quite an easy one. Next up is artwork, which sometimes I struggle with this. Let's see. Okay, I could be wrong. This looks a bit like a railway track. This is obviously the knee of someone. Okay, this one I'm not going to get as easily as the other one. So what could this possibly be? Apparently it's an easy one because people are getting it like immediately. One guess. I don't know. I'm going to throw in a guess just to see what I can possibly... For some reason it makes me think of Life is Strange. You know, there's a scene in the first Life is Strange game to do with a railway track. It totally is. It's the scene I was thinking of from Life is Strange. Oh, fantastic. I wasn't sure, but I was like, is that the scene? Oh, good. Okay. Now, keywords, which... This is the one that I struggle with the most. Let's see. Cyborg, ghosts, robots, stealth, assassin. It's not a ghost runner, is it? Because it makes me think of that. The ghosts, maybe, I don't necessarily think of that game with actual ghosts, but it is Ghost Runner, in the title. Stealth, you're basically an assassin. Robots, plenty. And cyborg, you are a cyborg. Yeah, I think Ghost Runner is not a bad guess. Okay, so it's not right. Wrong franchise and saga. Which, actually, I guess I should explain for anyone who, has just popped in. So, basically, this wrong franchise and saga means that it's not Ghost Runner franchise. Saga, as far as I can tell, means if there's like multiple continuities within a franchise. Saga is like... I don't know, what would a good example of that be? Maybe, like, let's take Final Fantasy. You have the Final Fantasy franchise, but then within each, you have like Final Fantasy X-2, which have Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, which have nothing to do with Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2, that kind of stuff. So, let's see. Military, questing, shopping, artifacts, mercenary. Man. Military, questing, shopping. You see, for some reason I find those three together to be really, really difficult to process. And it's also got robots, stealth, assassin, cyborg, ghosts. It's not like I haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solid games. I would love to play them at some point, but I just haven't been able to get around to them. It's not. Spaceship, microtransaction, post-apocalyptic, kill quest, leveling up. Not Fallout 76, is it? No, it's not. Okay. Here we go. Daily content and microtransactions. So it's some kind of... probably a live service game. It's got RPG elements, fetch quests, black market voice acting, military questing, cyborgs, robots. My god, what could this possibly be? And it's post-apocalyptic. It's not Fallout, because, wrong franchise and saga. What other, live service... There's, The Division, I think. Again, I don't really know much about those games, but I know of them. It's not The Division. Alien Invasion. Loot gathering, special attacks, real-time combat, and vehicular combat. An alien invasion. I mean, the alien invasion part makes me think of XCOM, but it's obviously not XCOM at all. That would be silly. Like, I wouldn't accept it if it's XCOM 2. What? Plus, vehicular combat and real-time combat, that isn't a thing in XCOM, so it can't possibly be XCOM. What other, like, live service post-apocalyptic games are there? Because as you might imagine, folks, I'm not really into the live service scene. I mean, the biggest one I had was with Overwatch, and even now I'm kind of taking a break from that game franchise. Just because of all the issues it's gone through in recent years. I don't know what the shopping... Unless they're talking about shopping as in microtransactions, but there's no quest. I was thinking Halo Infinite. I'm just gonna guess Halo Infinite. The last one now that we're on the last one, we should get like a really blurred image of the cover. Oh man. That's not... Is that a Destiny game? Would it be the first one or the second one? Shoot, I can't really remember what the first Destiny game looks like. Because it never came out on PC. Oh, it's gonna hurt if I pick one of these and it's the other one, but... I'm just going for it, folks. That hurts. That really hurts. Oh no, I guessed Destiny 2. And it was Destiny. Oh man, I couldn't remember the covers of those games. Again, as I said, I'm not a live service person. I haven't played any Destiny games. Oh, that's unfortunate. But what can you do? Okay, guess. Guess is actually my favorite mode in Gamedle. So, I like to usually start out actually with, I found recently, guessing Wolfenstein: A New Order can work out quite well. Okay, so we know it's not a first... Oh yeah, so just to explain for new folks maybe who aren't familiar with Gamedle. So basically, you're given like your platforms, your genres, your themes, blah 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 blah, as you can see along here. And if it's green, like this, single player, it means it is only single player. So like this is 100% correct right here. If it's yellow like this, it means that some of the information here is right. So like for instance, under genres, it could be a shooter, it could be a puzzle game, it could be an adventure game, it could even be two of these, but it can't possibly be all three of these and only these three. So the main thing to focus on right now is earlier than 2014. Now it's not first person, and it is single player only. We gotta take that into account. What third person single player only games? I mean, I could say, just to get some more information, I doubt there was any multiplayer elements in this. Okay, yeah, so we got some good information to go with here. So third person. It's a third person game, and we know it was released in between... Wait, there's sci-fi in Hitman 2? Actually, that's another one. I've never played Hitman 2. The sci-fi I completely get in Wolfenstein, because I have played through Wolfenstein: The New Order. I played through it on... what was the highest difficulty? But man, I remember one section in that game, like I was just stuck in a corner. It's like when you come back to Earth, and you like smash through the window of a building. Like I just was in a corner and I kept getting gunned down like it was hell for a while. Let's see, let's try to go for like a central year here. So 2008, 2009. So what third-person games, single-player third-person games came out in like 2008, 2009? Actually, looking at the backgrounds for this, Okami would be kind of... Oh, but it wasn't released for PS2. Actually, it didn't come out on PC. Or Xbox or GameCube. So it must be like for the PS3 and Xbox 360 or something. So actually, what about like an Uncharted game? Let's go with Among Thieves. It's newer than 2009. It did come out for the PS3. But also probably the 360, if I had to guess. There's multiplayer? Well, I did hear that a few of the Uncharted games had multiplayer, but I don't know which one specifically. Again, I've never played any of the Uncharted games. I wouldn't mind giving them a try, but Sony, you'd have to release the Nathan Drake collection on PC first before I'd even consider giving them a try. They're narrative games. You can't just hop into number 4 and expect to have a good time, I'd say. Again, this is going to be a weakness of mine because, again, I'm a PC person these days. Back then, I did have a PS3, but I don't really remember that many exclusives, and it's not from Sony themselves. It can't be because it's on multiple platforms. What about, no, that wouldn't have... Did that come out on PlayStation 3? Newer than that. Okay. Oh, I should probably have realized actually that it's not an action game at all. Puzzle game? But what puzzle games came out on console and not on PC? I honestly can't think of any. I mean, I'm sure there must be a few, but it would have to be a third-person puzzle game. Might not even be a puzzle game. Maybe it's like a walking simulator or something. Okay, I'm struggling here, folks. Let's just try to narrow down the years. I gotta keep things moving. So, we know the first Dark Souls game came out in 2011. Is it in 2011? It is a 2011 game. Now, I'm tempted, so to explain, folks, to use the one-time clue, it will use up one of your lives, but it will fill in one of these boxes up here that isn't a green. So, like, at this point, it might tell me the platforms it's on, it might tell me what genre it is, what themes, game engine, developer, publisher, saga. Well, actually, I've never seen it come up with saga or franchise. That would probably be a bit too much to give. So it probably can't be that one. Screw it. What is it? Shooter puzzle. Okay, so I was right about the puzzle, but it's also a shooter for console. I mean, it's not Portal, because Portal was on PC, very famously so. It was from Valve. They run the biggest storefront on PC. Why would they not release their game for Steam? I wasn't expecting to have to do this at this point, but I'm going to take a quick glance at 2011 games and just see what our options are. I mean, I'd be very angry if it was Portal 2, because that definitely was on PC right from the get-go. But you know what? Let's try it. Good. I'm glad that it isn't. Oh, and it's, of course. Sorry, my brain. As I said, I'm doing this in the morning, so I am quite tired. Of course, Portal is first person, so of course it couldn't possibly be Portal. Okay, so what other like puzzle shooter games were released for console and console only? It's not going to be Professor Layton, unless Professor Layton has really changed. I honestly have no idea, folks. Oh, hang on. There's a bit of more information. Let me go back to full screen. There's a bit more information I've just found. So, we know it's not an action game, and we also know it's not a science fiction game. So it is a comedy. We know that, actually. It's a comedic game. Comedic single-player game that was released in 2011 with a third-person perspective, not on PC. That should be a big hint in and of itself. And go comedy games. No. I would not accept it if it's Catherine. Catherine's not a shooter. Sorry, I just looked at there and I was like, could it be Catherine? I was like, no, it can't possibly be Catherine. To be fair, the original Yakuza release wasn't on PC. Oh, but this is 2010. And when did Yakuza 5 come out? 2012, so it can't be a Yakuza game. Okay. Could be this one, El Shaddai. That would fit with the console thing. But it's not a shooter. Shoot. It's not... Is it Bulletstorm? Did this originally come out? This originally came out on PC, so it can't possibly be Bulletstorm. I'm gonna try it just... No, if Bulletstorm would be first person, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be third person. Should we try to somehow narrow down the publisher? Okay, let's go with Final Fantasy 13-2. It's not Square Enix. And what other publishers haven't we dealt with here? We've got Bethesda, we've got Eidos, Sony, Take-Two, Bandai Namco, Valve, Square Enix. It's not going to be a PS3 exclusive game, surely, because it could be Sega. I don't agree, but let's try Catherine and just see, is it a Sega game? Oh, of course, they wouldn't have owned it at the time. Well, we've got the platforms now. PS3, Xbox 360. I think I'm going to fail this one. That'll be kind of embarrassing for the first video. But of course it'll happen, right? You start recording and you're probably going to do your worst when you start recording so that everyone can see your humiliation. Probably... Fine, let's look at third-person shooters, even though I don't think they mean it as a... Let's see, so what do we have here? Dead Space. I was about to say that didn't seem right. But yeah. Okay, so one was for that, okay. Let's do... I doubt it's this one. But it is kind of weird enough. Oh, it is coming to PC. Interesting. I've been meaning to try to do some Suda 51 games at some point, so... I don't really see any of these being the one. No, it can't be a Telltale game. I wouldn't accept that. It says shooter, so it's gotta have guns. I am honestly stumped, folks. I have a lot of information up here, but I just can't put it together. Let's do Shadows of the Dam, just because I saw it. What is it? It's Shadow of the Damned. Okay. Wasn't my first... then again, I don't know... I haven't played it, as I said. It looks interesting, but I haven't played it, so I didn't know if it's a shooter puzzle game. Okay. Well, I got it in the end, folks. I got it in the end. So... Okay, so that was my first recording of me doing the dailies for Gamedle. Hopefully you folks have enjoyed the content. If you did enjoy the content, of course, leave a like for the video. It'll help out a great deal. Subscribe to the channel to see potentially more of these. Give your own thoughts on these guesses. Also, I do Twitch streaming of games typically every Sunday. Sometimes it's Saturday, depending on the actual, what's happening in my life, around 2 p.m. Irish time. And I also run a YouTube channel called Victory Achieved Gaming, in which I help guide a friend through some pretty challenging games. And I believe that'll be it, folks. So again, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.